Alright, let's get into it. That's right, today we're unboxing an entire wave of Marvel Legends. There are a lot of them. This is going to be an ordeal, I can tell already. First thing you have to know, summer in Texas, very hot. I'm in a little closet, as you can see. My hair is long, like a husky who hasn't been able to shed for the summer. So if you see me start to sweat, it's because I'm sweltering to death. But we're here to review toys, so let's do that. We literally just got this wave in, and looking at other reviews, it's one that I'm really super excited about. I guess I say that about a lot of stuff. So anyway, this is the Marvel Legends Disney Plus wave. So all their shows that have premiered on Disney Plus, these are from those. And there are a lot of them to get through. So, in no particular order, well, I guess kind of in order because they're in order of when the shows premiered. In no particular order, but also in some kind of order, WandaVision's White Vision, WandaVision's Wanda. Oh, sorry, Scarlet Witch. It's Wanda. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier's U.S. Agent, Falcon and the Winter Soldier Captain America, Resident Asshole Baron Zemo, our boy Bucky the Sad Puppy, and from the newly premiered Loki TV show, Loki, but in a suit. Let's go over packaging just really super duper quick. This is pretty much par for the course for Marvel Legends packaging. Clear window in front to see the figure. Nice illustration on the side. On the back you get a little snippet about the character in several different languages, all the figures in the wave, and plenty of warnings that no one is going to read. And the tops each have their own symbols. For instance, Loki has his horn symbol. Wanda's got her, well, it's just her face, isn't it? Captain America has the shield, Vision has the Infinity Stone, Bucky has his arm star, and US Agent and Baron Zemo have nothing, because they've been bad boys. So usually what I do with large waves like this is open the one I'm least excited about first, and that for me would be US Agent. So as you probably already know, the Build-A-Figure for this wave are Falcon's Captain America Falcon, Captain America, Captain America's wings. So I will lovingly set this to the side. Alright, let's address the elephant in the room right away. This costume does not match this costume. Would it look cooler if it did? Yes, absolutely. But I watched Fuchsia's review of these guys, and he already addressed this issue, so I'm not really going to talk about it. Though I will say it would be nice to have those white stripes. It would also be nice if these stripes matched the red of his gloves. But what do I know? I saw some people saying that they didn't think that this looked accurate to the character, but I think it's pretty spot on. Look at that derpy face. I say that with love. Not really. I didn't like this guy. You weren't supposed to like him, that's the point. Wow, my voice just reached an octave I did not know it could reach. Anyway, yes, excellent likeness on the head, cold blue eyes. Well, they're cold, but there's some warmth in there too. The entire costume is covered with a texture that might be hard to see, but it's like a rough canvas or denim texture. I really like the bulkiness of this figure, especially in the leg area. These knee pads and these boots are so chunky. He comes with this trigger finger and like another weapon holding finger, but his gun doesn't come out of his holster. Other than that, he's got two punchy fists. So unless you have an extra weapon to give him, you might want to go with the punchy fists. How do hand go on? Any costume inaccuracies aside, I do really like the pops of silver. You've got this kind of broken up star down to these little buckles, and then these little stripes of silver across the boots. It kind of leads your eye downwards from the head, so visually you take in the whole figure. So as for articulation, that's not my favorite topic, so we're just kind of gonna breeze through the articulation on these. Look up, the helmet kind of gets in the way. Down, chin to chest, tilt, swivel, big chunky joint on the arm, bicep swivel, double elbow go! Ooh, nice crunch on that hinge there. You've got twist in the torso, and that joint is covered up by the belt. This leg can move out farther than this leg because this one is hampered by the holster here. Double knee. Oh, it's chunky though, it's so chunky. Swivel on the calf, and some kind of big chunky joint for the ankles. That is a honkin' big joint. Ooh. Satisfying to move around. The knees and the ankles are pretty stiff though, and that may be just my figure, but watch out for that, don't break anything. That's my motto. Now let's look at someone I'm marginally more excited about. Vision. So the WandaVision packaging has this cool staticky television screen pattern in the back. Falcon wings. This cape reminds me of a shower curtain, like when you have a clear shower curtain and it gets too old and starts to yellow and get stiff. The back of this is shiny, but the part that you're going to be seeing is more matte. It's got a texture to it. The cape feels weird. I wish you guys could feel it. It feels dusty. And I'm getting some kind of like debris on my hands. I don't know what that is. It's like it was dusted with baby powder or something. And if you look carefully, there is some kind of like white substance on it. It's either cocaine or anthrax. Two things that I would not associate with Vision, but now now I do. Thanks, Marvel Legends. I don't have a regular Vision to compare this against, but it looks accurate from what I remember in the show. Not a huge fan of the cream-colored bits. Vision is a little off-white already, so I think if he were more stark white and these were more off-white, that would be a better combination. But that's not what we got, and that's okay, because it's Vision, and I love him. Well, it's evil. Evil Vision, TM. He definitely looks like an evil Paul Bettany. Really well-defined face sculpt. The minute details of the nose and mouth are especially nicely done. There's a fine mesh texture throughout. It might be a little difficult to see, but the eyes are shadowed slightly and then repainted with this glaring bright white, which is really spooky. The cape is pretty stiff. You could pose him like this. I mean, he looks pretty relaxed. That might hurt your shoulders after a while, though. A nice thing about Vision's cape is it hides this giant joint in the back. Vision also comes with 2 fists. Otherwise, he's just got splayed out magic-using hands. Or science-using? Vision is like a combination of magic and science, I guess. Just like all of us. Beautiful, precious flowers. Some more precious than others. Viz can look up. Good for a flying character, especially. Ooh. Hard chin to chest, too. Not much room in the tilt department, but plenty of swivel. Chunky shoulder joint. You hear that click? Nice. Rotation there. Ooh, bicep swivel. Double elbow, not as clunky as John Walker, because Vision isn't wearing all sorts of armor and padding. Heavy crunch up front. Pretty good crunch in the back, too. The cape gets in the way, though. That torso swivel again, but we don't have anything to hide the joint on this one. But that's okay. It's not too obtrusive. Leg wants to reach 90, but can't quite make it. Double knee, once again, thinner joint than John Walker. Can reach up pretty far. Ooh, someone's been doing yoga. Also got a thigh swivel, but it's a little stiff. Doesn't want to go. So yeah, overall, White Vision pretty cool. It doesn't look quite as cool as it did in the show, but I'm sure that's hard to replicate in toy format. And when you get him in the darkness, looks kind of spooky. And without the lights blaring down on him, this cream color isn't quite as noticeable. Would you accept the hand of this borderline evil robot? I might. Let's look at Zemo now. We went from Falcon and Winter Soldier to WandaVision, back to Falcon and Winter Soldier. But that's just the way we're gonna do it today. If you have any complaints, you can take it up with my manager. Zemo comes with a lot of stuff, at least compared to the other ones we've opened so far. Alrighty, let's look at this man. This horrible, awful man. The man that spawned 1,000 memes. The likeness here is pretty good, especially from straight on. From the side, it's a little less so maybe, but at this angle, yeah, that looks good. Very finely sculpted hair. This fur coat collar is pretty cool too. This guy is stylish. His shirt's a little shiny. Actually, all of him is kind of shiny, but the shirt especially is shiny. I love this costume design because he can be a supervillain, but he could also just be a guy walking down the street. He's got this sweet-ass belt buckle, nice pants, really nice shoes too. Look at those buckles and the tiny rivets. His coat has amazing pockets, but I guess you'd need those to store all your evil in them. I've never had any article of clothing with pockets that big. Zemo can. Look up. Look up. Look up. Okay, so Zemo can't look up. He can look down. Kinda, though. Tilt. Swivel. Once again, there's that chunky shoulder joint. Does not want to go up far on this guy. This sculpted bit of the jacket shoulder right here is getting in the way of full liftoff. But if you swivel it around and kind of adjust it, he can go a little bit farther. Double elbow. Oh, nice. He can reach even farther than Vision. Coat gets in the way of the knee, though. Double knee. Very limber. He's another one that has crunch. Can't go back far because of the coat and a swivel in the torso. Yeah, this is a cool figure, mainly because of the likeness to the actor and also because of the costume design. So Zemo comes with an alternate masked head, Winter Soldier notebook, 2 punchy hands, and a space gun? I don't know, it's a gold gun. I don't remember him having a gold gun in the show, but I'm sure he does, even if it's not on the show. He's a guy who would have a golden gun. It's not practical. So if you noticed, his neck was purple. So when you pop the masked head on, his neck will match the mask. And this is a cool look too because this purple is the same shade of purple in his gloves, so it kind of all ties it together. So you could either put his future space gun in this trigger finger holding hand, get it on the trigger, like so, or have him hold his psychopath notebook, which I like. Yep, neat figure, Baron Zemo. War crimes. And now for the character that Zemo was hitting on through half of the show. Bucky. Don't get me wrong, I don't think they should be a couple. That would be a very unhealthy relationship. Bucky is another one that only comes with 2 extra hands. Zemo came with so much stuff. Yeah, Sebastian Stan is definitely hard to get the likeness right on him, and something about this hair doesn't sit right with me. But then again, it never sat right with me that he cut his hair in the first place. Someone did this while I was away. I feel like when Bucky cut his hair, there was a great disturbance in the Force, as if thousands of voices called out in grief only to be suddenly silenced. 'Cause he still looks good. Yeah, I don't know if this is my favorite figure. It kinda looks like him, but not super really that much. But the main thing that's bothering me is the shirt, which I'm sure is accurate to the show. It's been a while since I've watched, but in toy form, it's just a lot of different textures and patterns overlapping each other, and it gets a little muddy and confusing. See, you've got all these different overlays, and then this really harsh texture on top of it, and that extends to the back, and it's also really shiny. So it kind of takes away from the rest of the figure, like his face and his arm. Maybe that can be hit with some dull spray or something. See, his boots are really shiny, but they should be shiny. I mean, man, they're shiny. Those are the shiniest boots I've ever seen. How they do that? Like I said, face, not super accurate, but it's a nice looking face. Nice detail, nice paint apps. A little bit of 5 o'clock shadow. Cool hair sculpt, has a nice wash to it. And this arm is really neat. Super shiny with a really cool looking gold effect. I prefer the original Winter Soldier arm, but this one's cool too. As long as Bucky has an arm. Baby boy. Baby. For accessories, Bucky comes with, you guessed it, 2 extra hands. So he came attached with a trigger finger hand and a punching hand for the metal arm. But he can also have a trigger finger hand for the metal arm and a punching hand for the regular arm. But he only came with these. He didn't come with any weapons. No guns, no knives. Not so much as Steve's little notebook. So he's another one that would do well to have some sort of extra weapon. You can give him Zemo's gun, I guess, but that seems a little cruel. Doesn't really match. Since he doesn't have any weapons, I'm gonna switch out the hands. Bucky articulation, let's go. Up, not much down at all. A little bit of side to side, a lot of back and forth. Shoulder out. Got a hinge and swivel at that shoulder. Bicep, double elbow. Ooh, sticking a little bit. Yep, there we go again. Crunch forward, crunch back, swivel at the waist, leg arc out, swivel at the thigh, double knee, ankle joint. See what I said about all these basically... Why? Every time. See what I said about all these basically having the same articulation. That's why I don't really go too far into it. And also, articulation just isn't as fun to me. Yeah, I love Bucky, but I think I would prefer the original Winter Soldier figure. Sad puppy man. It's okay, buddy. It's okay. Alright, Loki time. Look at that face. Always up to something. Always beautiful. Oh, nice background for the Loki figure. Time variance authority for all time. Always. Loki comes with Red Wing and a stand for Falcon. That's important information. Anyway, anyone who knows me knows that I love Loki. The Avengers movie, the first Avengers, is probably my favorite movie ever, and that is largely in part because of Loki. I think I saw it like 3 times in the theaters. My one and only hot toy is a Loki hot toy. He does not get played with. He stays behind his glass case. I'm a little surprised that I don't have more Loki figures. So I was a little bit disappointed in this Loki figure when I first saw it because, I mean, he's just wearing a brown suit. But now that the Loki show has come out and we're a couple episodes in, I like this figure a lot more. He's got his desk worker slash time detective look going on. Big ol' variant in the back. Nice job on the face. It looks like Loki. He is definitely up to something. And look at those luscious locks. That hair. The clothes too, as plain as they are really well sculpted, especially this jacket. I really love the way the collar pops here. And these little tiny buttons. Look, these buttons right here even have holes in them. Then there's some seam lines on the back, some fabric ruffling. Underneath you can see his shirt and what looks to be a holster that's reuse from another figure. I know Foosh already went over this, I forgot what figure it is. Nick Fury, I think? So anyway, the holster is not painted in this one because you're not supposed to see it. Don't give Loki a gun. Loki, god of mischief, finally has a gun. And I love his dumb little square tie. It's so cute. In addition to all that, we've got the TVA logo on the front here. Cool little TVA belt. Yeah, that belt's actually really awesome. It's got some copper paint on it with a tiny, tiny buckle and then a little stamp that says TVA. It's tiny detail. Loki's got a bit more maneuverability in the head area because his head is on this sliding joint. So he could look back if his hair weren't in the way. Push forward. Chin to chest, lots of swivel action, ball and rotation on shoulder, bicep swivel, double elbow, like I said, basically all the same. A little bit of crunch, swivel, arc out, forward, double knee, a little bit stiff. His pants are kind of getting in the way. For accessories, Loki comes with himself. So yeah, I'm always happy to have any kind of Loki. I would really like to get a hold of Agent Mobius. I believe he is a Walmart exclusive. And I can only imagine that they'll be releasing more figures from the Loki show, so we might get Loki in different looks. Maybe insert spoiler character here. That would be cool. I'm happy with TVA Loki, who looks like he's about to steal my liver and sell it for one hot chip. Alright, Wanda. I did a whole unboxing, but my camera was not recording, so this is what we get. Now, I love Wanda. But I think a lot of us are chomping at the bit for an Agatha figure. She was kind of the breakout character of that show. Man, this is a nice figure, though. It might be my favorite so far. And that's one of the reasons why I kept it until last, because I could tell I was going to love this figure. Excellent likeness. She looks appropriately angry and intense. I do agree with Foosh, though, that this headband should be taken up a little bit, or her hairline should be taken down, but overall it doesn't really bother me. Wicked hair sculpt. I mean, this is a figure that's just as interesting from the back as it is from the front, I think. Now, she comes with these energy swirlies, and I'm gonna take these off for a moment while we have a better look at her. Yeah, there's a lot to love about this figure. From the accuracy of the face sculpt, the cool hair, the awesome costume, the colors all look really nice. If you're a fan of wilder poses, I guess this skirt in the back will get in the way of some of that, but I really love the skirt. I love outfits like this that are open in the front and hang down in the back. That is hashtag my aesthetic. The costume has a really nice mix of shiny plastic and matte plastic with a lot of lines that overlap and run down and run across. A slight texture throughout the whole thing. Very, very subtle. I love the way this hip piece wraps around from the front and dips down in the back. I love her death metal looking belt buckle. More of that same texture here on the pants, and then those lead down into a barely perceptible seam of a boot. So Wanda's our only female figure in this line. Let's see what she can do. She can look down a good bit. Cannot look up because of that hair, but she can get some forward action. Shoulder up, rotate. No bicep swivel for her because she's a lady. Pinless elbow, very nice. Rocker and swivel on the wrist. Little tiny bit of crunch forward. More crunch back, but then you've got this gap. No torso articulation whatsoever. No, she's got a lot less movement in her than the boys do. Flat 90 for the leg, double knee. So, Wanda comes with these energy swirlies that we saw before, and some energy hands, which look really cool. So let's put those on. I think Wanda is a really cool character. Man, she loves Vision so much. Maybe too much, you know what I'm saying? Don't put all your eggs in one basket, girl. I guess that's what love is. So then if you wrap these energy thingies around the hands, it looks like they're part of the hands, and that's a really neat look. Yeah, that looks really cool. Let's see if I can get her to stand up. Oh. Yep, there she goes. She looks like she's about to hurt someone pretty bad, which is accurate. Yeah, I love her. She is my favorite so far. Wanda's gonna be my top figure for this wave. And last but not least, Falcon, Winter Soldier, Captain America. I'm sorry. I will keep calling him Falcon, not out of disrespect, just because that's what I know him as, but I will try to correct myself whenever I get it wrong. Tangent time. Did anyone else feel like the Falcon and the Winter Soldier just kind of ended really abruptly? Like the ending happened and I thought there would be another episode or two, and then it was just like, nope, that's it. And I was like, what? That's just my personal thoughts on the matter. And I can't help but think there's something a little bit off about this figure, and I believe it is the hair. The hair looks like it's not on straight, which is weird because I don't think it's a separate piece. But yeah, it's definitely cattywampus. And it's kind of throwing the whole face off, which in turn throws the whole rest of the figure off. The mask too, the paint lines aren't really lining up quite evenly, so that's a little bit messed up as well. So it just kind of gives the face an overall really wonky, strange appearance. Other than that, it's a nice face though. You can kind of make out the eyes underneath the orange tint of the goggles, ears poking out, which I know is part of the Captain America aesthetic, but I feel like if you were flying high into the air, you'd want your ears covered. Actually, you'd want your whole head covered, I believe. Didn't learn anything from Harry in Spider-Man 3. Leading down to the costume, the paint is a little bit messy on this, which gives it a little bit of a distressed look, which is fine, except in the show it was a brand new outfit. Yeah, it looks a little distressed, especially on the silver here. The bicep armor is a little dirty looking. You've got some marbleization customization in the silvers, which doesn't bother me, especially for something this small. It's just a little bitty detail, and it kind of adds to it. Did I sound really dumb just then? Kind of adds to it. What if I just start doing all my reviews in that voice? How quickly would everyone hate me? Joke's on them, everyone already hates me. Going down from the star, you see this belt buckle here, which kind of resembles wings. Got a star on either shoulder, and if you look in the back here, there's some kind of like jet boosters in the back of his boots. But yeah, the paint is a little bit scattered on this figure from head to toe. There's some of it that's just runny, and some of it that's just off and misprinted, unlike the Wanda figure, which was super clean and crisp. So let's look really quick at what Sam can do. He can look up high, which is good. He can fly, so he needs to see where he's going. Look down low. Chunky shoulder, doesn't go very far because of this big bulge in the side, but he does have a bicep swivel. Double elbow, doesn't go very far because of that big old bicep. Is it worth getting swole if you can't move your arms? Crunch. Ooh, that looks painful. Swivel, hidden by the belt again. Leg out, up, back. Doesn't really want to go back. Chunky double knee, doesn't go very far because of this big boot. So now comes the fun, I hope, part of assembling his wings. Hidden dragon crouching Loki. Here, let's see if we can do this. Well, what is this? Where does this go? Does this go right here? Oh, I guess this is his pack when the wings aren't out. Does that look right? Maybe. So let's put these here, and let's put these here, and then we slap this on the back of him. And I say slap, but it's actually more difficult than it looks. And there we go. It's a little wobbly, unless I'm just not doing something correctly, which is always a possibility. But I think it's just that this hole is too big for this peg. I think there should have been some additional, I think there should have been some additional insert points in the back so we wouldn't get this wobbly problem. And then we've got Red Wing. Okay, Red Wing plugs in at a very odd angle, and it does not want to stay. These wings in general do just not want to stay, but Red Wing especially, he will not stay in place. Like, this is loose, and the thing in the back is loose. So it's all kind of a mess. There's definitely gonna need to be some gluing of some sort, some fastening. But it looks cool when you have it all together. Oh no, see? That's what I'm talking about. Can Red Wing come off this thing? Yeah, Red Wing can come off so you can have him separate. I don't know how you'd put him anywhere without the stand though. And so then the stand plugs into the back of the wing pack, and it's not really tall enough to have him in any sort of flying pose, but you can do a landing pose or just a standing pose because you're not going to get him to stand up with these loose wings wobbling all over the place. But that looks pretty cool. That looks very majestic. So yeah, altogether the effect is nice. I wish that Red Wing would stay on. So in addition, he also comes with the shield, of course. There's nowhere really to stick the shield except for his arm. Right through here. He's got a little handle. Okay, I don't know what is happening. I complained about this being too loose, but now it won't even fit back into the peg in his back. It's like this figure is just messing with me. Like, it just won't even go. It's too tight now. Frustrating is what I would call this. Very frustrating. It looks so cool when it's all put together, but the road to getting there is very bumpy. So I ran him under some scaldingly hot water and tried to plug this in, and it still does not really want to go. So I'm going to see if I can just plug it into the stand and it'll all just hold together. He doesn't like to grasp the shield well. Alright, just stay like that. We're just going to put Red Wing at your feet because I'm afraid to touch any part of you. So as you can see, the wings go in, go out. They'll pretty much go in either direction. If you go back too far, it'll just snap off, just like that, just like I showed you. This wing folds in, folds like that. Can do a shield wing maneuver or stab wing maneuver. But we're just gonna leave him like that for now because I'm afraid he's just gonna fall into pieces. So yeah, a fun wave, fun characters, very frustrating, and I will add that it is difficult to stand all these people up. I will say that Scarlet Witch is the favorite figure here, for me at least. She's beautiful, she's well sculpted, just a really fun figure. I especially love these hand and magic effects. So, would I recommend this wave? If you like the shows, yeah. If you want the wings, sure, the wings are cool. They have a really nice presence when you get them on the figure, but they are very, very frustrating. So if you're not super interested in the wings, just stick with buying the figures individually. I would really highly recommend the Scarlet Witch figure. The rest, I could leave. I like Loki, but he is just wearing a suit. I hope you've enjoyed the review. Likes and subscribes are always welcome. Comments are more than welcome. Who's your favorite Marvel TV show character? Is it Loki? Mine is Loki. Could you tell? Alright, until next time, see ya.